Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us this week. My name is Beth Gay Freeman, and we're going to learn how to begin your own genealogical research today. Just very quick, but I hope you will enjoy. I do a publication called Beth's Newfangled Family Tree. Here it is. It's free. No charge at all, no strings. It's called Beth's Newfangled Family Tree. And the address is https://electricscotland.com/B as in Beth, N as in Newfangled, F as in family, and T as in tree. Now, as we go along, you might decide that you'd like to ask a question, and that's just fine if you do. Here's how to email me, bethscribble@aol.com. People ask me all the time, why in the world are you Beth Scribble? Well, it's because I write and I paint. Scribble fits both. Unless you are a king, a president, a big celebrity, or another notable, finding your ancestors and making sure a family tree is kept for future generations is most likely up to you. That's right, you. The federal government does not do family research, nor does its National Archives collect or preserve family trees. Books on family history and genealogy are collected, compiled, and published by private individuals who do so because they are interested in the lives of their families and ancestors. As the depository of the federal government's records deemed of permanent value for historical purposes, the National Archives houses many records that can be helpful to those who wish to trace their ancestry. The search, however, cannot be compiled at the National Archives alone. You should consult the many other depositories where you can find all kinds of information. Now, how do you start? You start with you. You are the beginning branch of your family tree. Start with you and the information that is known and work toward the unknown. Find out as much as you can about your parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. Be sure and get pedigree charts and family group sheets. Pedigree charts keep the information on your direct ancestors. Family group sheets keep all the information that you find on your aunts and uncles and cousins. And as you collect information doing your family tree, be sure to identify the source of the information from whence that came. It's very important. You will be concerned with identifying 4 important facts from the many sources that you will encounter during your search. These are names, dates, places, and relationships. They are the primary tools of the family researcher. You will want to know the names of the individuals. Be sure and get their middle names when you can. Be sure and get middle initials if that's all you can get, but be sure and get their complete name when it's possible. Get where they were born, married, and died, and of course the when they were born, married, and died. Get all the information you can, and also if you can, note down and keep a record of why did they die. What if they had a disease? Write it down, and you will be amazed at what a record you will find and keep. And the place to begin your research is home. Obtain information by talking to your own parents. They'll know all of their information, and probably their their parents, and probably their grandparents. You might also find at home. You might find all kinds of items that would hold birth, marriage, death certificates, family Bibles, newspaper clippings, military records, diaries, letters, scrapbooks, photographs, and even baby books. Now this is very important, even if you're listening to this today, but you're not the least bit interested in doing a family history. You have relatives who are alive today that won't be alive next year. That's a sad fact, but true. So when those people are gone, they take all of their very valuable information with them. So start by calling today or writing today your relatives. It's important because they are the ones who will have information about the 2 generations at least before them. Try to find somebody in your family who's already done some research on the family and ask them if they would be willing to share that information with you. And don't forget, when you do that, also say, you know, if I find out something, or I'll give you copies of everything I find out, I will share with you as well. So pick up the phone, write a letter, or make a visit, or do a query on the computer as soon as you can. Start today if you can. Some states begin to keep the records earlier than others, but for the most part in the United States, birth and death registration became a requirement between 1890 and 1915. Before that time, you will generally find these records recorded in church records and family Bibles only. You'll find marriages in most county records, and these sometimes date back to the beginning of the country. A few churches keep records of important events such as baptisms, marriages, and burials. Some churches don't keep records. Try to identify your ancestors' religion while you're talking with them in the very beginning, and which churches they attended and where. Contact that church if it is still available and ask them what records they might have and where you might find them. Your ancestors may have owned property or sold property. Upon their death, they might have left it to heirs. Records of property bought and sold and information found in wills can be good sources of genealogical information. County courthouses normally keep these records. Often the earliest county records or copies of them are available at the state archives. The National Archives in Washington, D.C. has records that could be of help in your research. The federal census taken every 10 years since 1790 is a good source. These census records are also available on microfilm at the National Archives regional centers, located in many metropolitan areas throughout the country. The National Archives also has military service records, military pension records, and even passenger arrival records. Visit the National Archives website to locate a center and to order their genealogical publications. It's an easy address. It's www.archives.gov. Now, you may hire a researcher to do some family history for you. We have a friend who has just been named to a Scottish clan, and he hired a very wonderful researcher, and this researcher worked for him for 20 years to get all the information that he needed in order to become the chief. Now, I don't think it will take you 20 years to hire, to find out the information from a researcher, but folks do keep them hired for a long, long time. Visit your state, your regional, and local institutions. Libraries, historical and genealogical societies, and archive repositories are all good sources for family research. The Quiet, Comfortable Research Library also houses the library, all kinds of library things that you will need. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you can email me if you have questions. And take care, please. Thank you. Bye.